Dun 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 dun. Yes, I'm seeing with my opening on my television screen. This is so ghetto. Sorry. Hello, guys. So, you ready to buy me a laptop yet? That's right. This is how ghetto I am. Now, I'm filming the television for you guys to see. Of course, I'm doing that on purpose and thinking of new creative ways to look extra ghetto until we have a laptop.
What did I say about the word ghetto?
What? Oh, I'm sorry. Extra.
Give up. Give up.
I give up. Anyways, let's move over here. Huh? Jesus Christ. Oh.
Hang on, let me grab my phone.
Mm-hmm.
Go! Ow.
And once again, was it pointed at me correctly? Can they see my nipples?
Yes.
Good.
I can see your nipples.
As long as they can see my nipples, we're good. Hello, and welcome back to another episode of Retro Alliance Gaming. I am Travis Touchdown, and here is my next video that is incredibly ghetto.
What did I say?
I keep saying it, I can't get the word out of my head. Yes, Marvin, again, as you're watching, I'm still trying to get the laptop thing situated so we can go about our normal business, but in the meantime, this is how I can come across to you guys. So how are all of you doing today?
Yeah, because they can answer.
Alrighty then. Anyways, guys, so today I was trying to think, what video can I do that doesn't require too much editing, but a subject that I would actually really like to talk about? And I'm going to go ahead and do a subject that I haven't really talked about much yet, and that is going to be on the Sony PS2, my thoughts on it, and the launch. And I'm so sorry to be more ghetto, but my cat is banging at the door, so let me have her open it while we're coming in. I said the word again, that's 3 times. Hey,
That's
Butters.
like 5 times.
Anyways,
Butters, come here.
We only have so much time, so let me go ahead and move forward with this. So I want to talk about the PS2. I'm going to try not to go on for a million hours, but people who know me know I'm not a huge fan of the PS2. Now, when I say I'm not a huge fan, am I ducked enough for you to see me? Are you sure? Okay, anyways. Those people who know me know I'm not a huge fan of the PS2. That does not mean I'm not a huge fan of Sony. I
Biased.
love Sony. The PS1 was one of my favorite systems. I love it. It comes close to, well, it's not the Dreamcast, but it's close to it. I love the PS3. I love the PS4. But I seem to have an issue with the PlayStation 2.
Biased.
And I want to talk about it a little bit because I think one chunk of it is because I am, in fact, biased.
Biased.
I know that it sold over 100 million different system units, or 150, I don't know, and everybody loves it. So one part, I'm a little bit biased, and the other part of it, I have legitimate reasons for, and I kind of want to talk about it today. So we're going to go back in time really quickly to around the time of right before the PS2 was launching. Let's go ahead and say about 6 months before it was launching. Now, at this point in my life, I had a PS1, a Nintendo 64, and a Sega Dreamcast, which for me is like the almighty, love that fucking system. When I got the Dreamcast...
Our Lord and Savior, Sega.
Yes, my Lord and Savior, Sega. And Sonic Christ. We got Sonic Christ hanging up, see him?
You can blame my friend Jojo for that.
Yes, anyways, coming back, gotta be quick. So, going back to about 6 months before the launch, I already obviously had a Sega Dreamcast for a long time, and that system to me was one of the most innovative, beautiful, amazing systems that had pretty much an entire library of awesome games, you know, with some stinkers here and there, but even then I loved them. That being said, with that system, it was the first time I was able to go online with the system, play with people around the world. They had motion controllers. They had so much with that system that was perfect. And then I remember when it came out, it was doing so well, and it started dwindling a little bit. And around the time it started dwindling was when Sony was announcing the elusive PS2.
Elusive.
Now, excuse me.
That's the opposite of
Yeah.
what that word means.
Yeah, so anyways, you get my point. Everybody was very, very excited for the PS2. Me being a gamer, I was also excited to get a PS2. I had no problems with the system as of this point. What began happening, I noticed, I used to go to EB Games to buy my Dreamcast games or whatever other game I was buying, and when they announced it, I was noticing that they were really hyping up the fact that it played movies and DVDs, which was a huge thing back then, which is like, okay, great, but I don't really care about having a DVD player. I want something that plays video games. Not that having all in one isn't a good thing. And the first thing that I noticed was that really pissed me off is I went into this EB Games I used to go into all the time, And around this time, the Dreamcast was dwindling because, again, you had the PS2 coming, and everyone said it's going to be the best system, the most powerful system, the most awesome system. And they started swaying away from the Dreamcast quite a bit. And I always wanted to get the word out that just because the PS2 is coming out doesn't mean people should stop supporting the Sega Dreamcast. Well, the first thing I remember that really, really pissed me off was I noticed that all the employees at this EB Games that I went to, they were trained to push, obviously, the PS2. Now, why? Because it's a new system. You know how game companies work. These companies work that are out there. They need to push the newest hardware that's coming out. But it wasn't like they were just saying, you want to pre-order, you want to sign up, this is a great system. I saw people coming in there, and I'd be in there shopping, and they would be looking and being like, oh, well, the PS2 is coming out in 6 months. But I really want a Dreamcast. I want Sonic Adventure. I want NFL 2K. I want Shenmue. I want all these different games. And I started noticing that the manager was telling all of the employees to downplay the Dreamcast, saying it is going out, it is not going to be there anymore, and you were to just sell the PS2. And it really, really pissed me off. So this one dude came in. He was a huge Sega fan. He had the Genesis. He had everything. And he was asking about the Dreamcast. They had a deal going on it. It was only $99 to buy. You got or something, 99 or 50 with the subscription to SegaNet. And there was a lot of games, and I remember he said, dude, don't bother with the Dreamcast. Seriously, not only is the system going out, which maybe he was right at that point, but he's like, it's not that powerful, it's not that great, there's not that many games, doesn't even matter. The PS2 is going to be 10,000 times better, and started selling it really, really hard. And what pissed me off is I started noticing they were all insulting the Sega Dreamcast to get people to move over to PS2. So what I did was, I was in there and I heard him saying that. I stepped up and I said, whoa, dude. I'm like, listen to me. You want to get the PS2 when it comes out, it's fine, but you got to realize it's going to be launch, and they're only going to have so many games at launch. And the Dreamcast is amazing. You should support it. You can do online gaming, Fantasy Star. It's inexpensive to get. There's so many games. So I started selling him on everything on there, and Shenmue, and Code Veronica, and Soul Calibur, and Jet Grind Radio, and every other game in the world I can possibly name. And when I was doing this, I physically saw the employee getting angry. Like, he was literally looking at me like, what, dude, are you trying to fuck up my sales? And I wasn't telling him not to buy a PS2. I said, go ahead and pre-order a PS2 if you want to put money down on it, but do not deny the Dreamcast. The Dreamcast is absolutely amazing, and you should get it. He was trying to downplay it. He said it was a terrible system and all these things, and it was driving me nuts. So I made it my goal in life to get everybody I could to buy a Dreamcast and support Sega, because they put everything into the system. So it's the first thing that really pissed me off. Every place was doing it, and every place was pumping up the fact that it had a DVD player, and they were pushing the fact, I'm not saying if they didn't push it, the Dreamcast would have necessarily done better, but I'm saying that it really bothered me that this is the way they had to sell PS2 systems, by going ahead and insulting another amazing system that was coming out. Now, when I say this about the PS2, I'm not saying that the PS2 was bad at all. I'm just saying I thought that was wrong. So that's the first thing that happened. After all that took place, I remember the PS2 was getting ready to launch, and it came out. And I remember I was going to buy one, and I went in there, and when the Dreamcast came out, it had so many amazing launch games. I mean, again, Soul Calibur, Blue Stinger, NFL football games, anything that you could be interested in, Sonic Adventure. And when the PS2 came out, it didn't have jack or shit. I mean, literally, I didn't see any game on there barely worth buying. Maybe one or two games that were decent enough to buy, because they were pushing the DVD player so hard that most people were just picking it up for that and to wait for the games. And it actually took a really long time for the PS2 to come out with games. I know what you're all going to say. Oh yeah, sure, but all systems take that long. Well, yeah, technically a lot of them do, but the Dreamcast had the best launch games in the world, and the PlayStation really didn't have much. After that, it became this war of everyone saying, well, the Dreamcast sucks, and this system is the best one that you're going to get. My fanboyness kicked in a bit because I wanted to defend my system so much more, not because I couldn't afford the other one, but because I loved it and I wanted to share it with everybody. And from that point on, I was noticing that I never got quite a good feeling with the PS2 as I did with the Dreamcast, where I was so excited with that system and all its games and the VMUs and the little screens and the innovation. I didn't see that with the PS2. What I saw was a system that was, again, powerful, but it didn't have all this great online gaming. It didn't have good launch titles. It didn't even look as good. The video quality with the Dreamcast 640 by 480 VGA was beautiful, but I never saw the PS2 games looking as good as they did. I know graphically they were able to do smoother characters and a higher polygon count, but it never really quite matched up, and I never could understand why it was so much better than what the Dreamcast was. I guess marketing or whatever it happens to be. Now, that being said, later on in time, the PS2 did end up having amazing games, things that I loved. There was Silent Hill 3, there was Final Fantasy X, there was a lot of games that came out that were absolutely brilliant for it, and I think buying it a couple years in, it was definitely a great system to own and have. And nowadays, you can buy one, and there are so many great games to play, but no matter what I do, when I look at the PS2, I look at the games, I look at the video quality, I think about the launch, and then I look at the Dreamcast, nothing ever sparked with me as much as the Dreamcast. And it's not just being a fanboy that way, it was a truly miraculous system that I love. So there was some weird mix of all this hate, love, and fanboys and everything going on, and ultimately, I felt pretty disappointed that everything that took place and what happened. Not that the PS2 killed it, but just how the whole thing played out didn't feel right to me. When it comes down to it with the PS2, I don't have a lot of nostalgia for it. There's a lot of games for it that I love, but I don't get a warm, cozy feeling when I pick it up to play it like I do with the Dreamcast. When I pick up that controller and I pop in a game, I just feel special. And a lot of people have that with the PS2, more power to them, but me personally, I never quite got it. I never really thought it was pushing many boundaries other than being a bit more of a powerful system. So I guess that's a bit of a reason why I don't like it. It's a mix of a few things that happened during the time of the launch, plus the fact that I never thought it was so much better than the Dreamcast. I just didn't like how people portrayed it that way, and ultimately what it came down to is the games, the system, the innovation, and how I felt. And I still to this day feel that the Dreamcast is, for me personally, a superior system with superior games, but the PS2 did have a wonderful library and a great amount of games that will be loved for all time also. That's pretty much what I want to go ahead and talk about today. In a longer video, I can go more in depth in the future about other details and reasons why I kind of just did this in an improv kind of situation in a way. But I don't know, you guys let me know. What did you do at launch? Did you get a Dreamcast? Did you skip it and get the PS2? Do you like one or the other better? What do you guys think about the system? They are both great systems, and I'd be very curious to see what you guys think about them. Just remember, I'm not insulting it. I do like a lot of the games on it, but it just isn't quite what the Sega Dreamcast had, which for me was one of the last true gamer systems. Anyways, guys, that's all I want to go ahead and say for today. I'll have a lot more videos coming up, hopefully, that are a little bit less ghetto than this. And as always, until next time.